Here are the mats you sent to us for testing, right here. And I'm going to run in our test lab unit. This unit is a 400 unit. It's a 10 horsepower unit. The one you're looking at is actually a larger unit with 15 horsepower. What I'm doing is I'm going to show how a 10 horsepower test lab unit will be able to handle this stuff. And what I'll do is I'll just feed another piece every 20 seconds, and then we'll just find out the limits of the machine basically. And I'm using a 6mm screen on this test. So what that does, if I use a bigger screen, the stuff will process through a lot faster, but you may not be able to use the particles properly. So I'm using a 6mm screen to kind of give you, a more difficult situation than a larger screen. So I'm going to turn on the machine, and then we'll start loading them up. Okay, I'm going to turn on the machine now, and what we're going to do is we're going to have to load them from the back. Your particles, your sheets are bigger than our front, so we load them through the back, and we have a bigger back opening, so it slides in a little bit easier. But no difference on the machine. If you get the 24-inch wide machine, these things will slide without any issue at all. So I'm turning on the blower, then the granulator, ready to load it up. I'm going to go back and forth so you can actually see how she's processing as she goes through. Try two at once. We're going to do two at once just to show you what would happen with two at once. Well, it'll make it, it'll fit. Through the whole box in basically 3 minutes. We went through the whole box. So I'm gonna do is let this process out. I'll show you what it's doing. It's going through the machine. It comes out over here. So that's your material. Again, we're using a 6mm screen, and if we went up a little bit higher, it'll go through no problem. And again, this is a 10 horsepower unit, not the 15 that you're looking at. So the 15 is going to be wider, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be stronger, but this had no problem processing those, I believe, 10 mats you sent to us. Here's your material. We processed it all the way through. Now it doesn't stick together, there's no real heat to it, and it's a nice particle size. It's a 6mm screen again that we used on it. So I don't know if you want to use an 8. 8 will you get more material through it. The throughput will be higher, but this really does look nice. This size. So it really depends on what your downstream's looking like. Again, just to summarize, we used a 10 horsepower unit on this unit, where the unit you're looking at is a 15 horsepower unit with a wider front and wider rotor on it, and it would plow through it. As you saw, this machine had no problem when we had like 4 sheets in there or 5 sheets in there, and then we threw in 2 at a time, and the machine just cranked through it. It's not going to bog itself down. In the 15 horsepower, you can pour 4 of them in there and it ain't going to bog it down, because the material is very cuttable. It's not like it jams. It's flexible and it cuts fairly easy. So we're going to bag up some of this, send it back to you, and I'll send you the results.